Hello everyone, this is Mr. Martinez and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use Final Cut Pro so that you can make videos this semester long. And for anyone else that wants to learn how to use Final Cut Pro, this is going to be a pretty good tutorial. I want to jump right into it. So this is Final Cut Pro. This is what the icon looks like down here at the bottom. So I've already clicked it. I've already opened it so that it can have some stuff preloaded. This is a video. I totally forgot I made this video. I made this video over the summer. So this was a video between me and Guillermo Ceja. He was showing, or he wanted me to tell people about this job fair that was going on in Ventura. So I went ahead and made a video for him, and we filmed it together. And I also added some drone footage so people knew where it was at. But before you can do a project like this, I want to show you guys the entire user interface between Final Cut Pro and the user. When you first open it up, most likely these are going to be clicked on. But let's just show you what's going on. So there's a close button over here, a minimize and expand button. Okay. I'm not going to go over these. Honestly, mostly because I don't really know what they are. I think this just basically tells you when the video is good to go. And I've never really used the key. And let me see, what does this do right here? Okay, I think this is to import media. So I don't ever really import media using that feature. I'll show you guys what I do. But these buttons don't really serve much of a purpose, at least not for me when I'm editing videos. Then over here on the top right, this is important. So this one is clicked, you can tell that it's got color. So if you turn it off, you'll notice that everything got kind of moved to the center, and then whatever was over here on the left is gone. But if I click it again, now this opens up. Basically what you're opening and closing is this over here. Hold on. All this on the left, all this. So if I click this, closes it. If I click it, it opens it. And I'm going to show you what this is in just a little bit. And then this, if you click on it, then that opens up on the right hand side. Basically all the settings for whatever it is that we have clicked on. Right now I think I have this clicked. So it gives me all the features for this. So I said my name and some other details, but it's this right here. So if I want to edit this stuff, I have to make sure that this one's clicked. Okay. Turn it off. Turn that off, because I like to see it nice and simple. This is telling me over here that I'm shooting the video at 1080p, which is good, not the best. Obviously 4K is better, and then there's others too. And it's shooting at 30 frames per second, and then it's doing stereo, meaning that it's picking up sound from both ends. Right now it tells me that I'm zoomed in 117 percent. Over here it allows me to see some other stuff. We're gonna learn more about video scopes, angles later. For the most part, you want to leave this alone. We're not gonna touch this just yet. So just so you know, right now, what you need to know is that these three are pretty important. You want to know how to turn them on, turn them off. Then on the bottom, this is your timeline. This is basically everything that you're editing, your entire video. These are tools. So this is to crop or transform. Transform just means you get to either stretch or flip. Crop means you cut it up into pieces. And then distort is similar to transform, but if you just kind of like what the icon does, it just slants things to the sides. Let me see if I can I'll click on this so you can see these. So this is to balance color, match color, enhance audio. We're not mostly gonna be using these features. We're gonna be going in and changing them ourselves. These are just features, but I don't usually use them. I toggle with the stuff on my own as opposed to letting the computer do it on its own. And then this is to speed up the clip or slow it down or reverse the clip or reset the speed. This comes in handy. Okay, so out of these tools, I use this one, and then I use this one. And then also I like using crop. So if you click on crop, it actually gives you three options. You can trim, crop, or Ken Burns. Trim is not my favorite because basically what it does is if you use it, it's gonna leave you a black background on the back. So I don't really like that. Let me reset this. Crop is usually what I do. So if I crop something, let's just say I do this and I hit done, it makes it smaller, but it expands it so it doesn't leave the black box on the back. What else we got? So this is to speed it up. So if I make it fast, notice how this got smaller, it just condensed, so it's gonna go faster. And I'm going back, I'm undoing all of the stuff that I'm doing. So what else? You can also change the speed, so it can be faster or slower, like manually. If you click on it, we just want it set to normal. This tells us where we're at. This is 16 seconds and 26 frames. Remember, right now we're shooting at 30 frames per second, so it's taking 30 photos every second. 30 frames per second is usually what I do. 24 frames per second is kind of made for like novelas and movies and shows, and then 60 frames per second is also even better. Ideally, I think you'd probably want to shoot at 4K 60 frames per second if you're using an iPhone. That would get it really nice and clear. So we got this down. If you click this button over here, it's gonna open up the video and it's gonna start playing it. It will look a little blurry unless you stop it, because basically it's rendering as you're making the video. So it's not perfect. You would have to create the video, and then when you watch it, then it'll be nice and clear. So you guys, you know that I don't really use this. You know that this is important. I think this is to export. Don't worry about that just yet. These is to view some other stuff, but right now you're not gonna worry about that. Some of them are important, such as the video scopes and the angles. I definitely use. I usually leave this at optimized and better performance, but it does slow down your computer. Again, don't worry about it just yet. We'll worry about it later. I'm just trying to show you all the tools. So then you got this, you know what this is. So now let's move down to the next bar. So this is what you're grabbing and using. So select is good just to click on stuff. Okay, so you can click and you can move stuff around. Trim has some pretty nice features. So when you click on it, you can it's not just for trimming, but it allows you to move, like, see how I'm moving the clip left and right? It's kind of hard to tell right now, but I'm literally moving stuff around, and then the actual clip stays the same. This clip right here is, let me see, 19 seconds and 21 frames. But when I use the trim feature, it stays 19 seconds and the 26 frames, but it's moving stuff around. That comes in handy. You'll learn more about that later. Really, what you're going to be using is you're going to be using the select tool, and you're going to be using the blade tool. I don't really think you need to be zooming in and zooming out. If you just leave it open to the size that you need it, but if just in case you need to zoom, that's that. You can also use the hand. The hand does not grab stuff. It grabs like the whole timeline. That's if you're trying to move left and right without like really touching stuff, like moving stuff around. See how I can't grab any of this stuff? So I need to use the select tool to move this stuff around. So out of these tools, you're gonna use select and you're gonna use blade more than anything. The rest of the stuff you're not gonna really use just yet. Like, wait until you get a little bit more experience. But once you do get more experience, trim comes in handy, and then the range selection comes in handy more than anything else, in my opinion. The zooming, I don't really use the hand. The zoom, you can use like your keyboard to zoom in. So you can click on the keyboard. Command plus zooms in, command minus zooms out. So that's how you touch stuff. This tells you where you're at. So see this button right here? I mean, this line, this is telling me that I'm at 3 minutes? 3 seconds? Can't be right. Oh, excuse me. It's whatever is clicked on. So let's whatever I'm clicking, that's that. So that's the 19 seconds, 21 frames. Okay, and my total project is 1 minute and 50 seconds, 0 frames. So it's exactly 1 minute and 50 seconds. So if I click on something else, boom, that tells me how much that is. That's this right here is 3 seconds and 28 frames. It's almost 4 seconds. Because remember, if I had 30, then it would become 4 seconds. So check it out. I can make it a little bit bigger, and see as I'm moving it, that's 4 seconds. Okay, so this one's now 4 seconds. See how it says 4 seconds? This is to change projects. We're not gonna focus on that just yet. These are important. So we'll start from the right hand side. This opens up transitions. Transitions get put between clips. Okay, so this transition just got placed between that clip. Cross dissolve just basically makes everything kind of like fade in. If you want to see an example, let me see. I'll do one at the end. Okay, and I'll hit play. Notice how it fades. Okay, and it faded to black because there's nothing else over there. So let me delete that. That's transitions. There's a ton of transitions. You guys can check it out. I'm not gonna explain any of these right now. There's just too many of them. These over here are effects. Now there's video effects and then there's audio effects. So the audio you can still place on the video, and then but only the video ones can you put on the video. So my audio is right here at the bottom. So this is my audio. These are my video. My videos also have audio because when I was recording the actual video, I was picking up sound. This is just a song that I added at the bottom. If you notice, this is a song. You can't really hear it because I lowered it really down. See how it says minus 31 decibels? So I lowered the song really, really down, but there's still some sound in the video. These come in handy. So these two are really important. Effects and transitions. You can't have them open at the same time. So notice how it's either you got one open or you turn on the other one. It's kind of cool that they do it that way because you don't really want to have that much stuff open on Premiere Pro, which is another program that's not Final Cut Pro. It can get confusing with all this stuff. It's a really good program, don't get me wrong, but I like this one how it just doesn't give you that option to move stuff. Everything's always in the same place. So let me close that. Now this is to change your timeline. Do you want everything to be smaller? Do you want it to be bigger? How do you want it to be seen? Do you just want to see, do you want to see it like that, like this, like that, or like that, or like that? Notice how everything's getting smaller as you go that way. I like it like this. That's my opinion. You figure out what you want. You can also manually change the size, and you can actually show a couple more stuff, but that's something that you click once and then you just don't really go back into it. At least I don't. This is very handy. I recommend you always have this on. This basically just makes it so that when you move a clip, it magnetizes it. Notice how it just bloop, bloop. If I don't have that on, it doesn't do it exactly, and sometimes it's like I can't get it right. So it's really good to have this feature on. And then notice right now how as I drag, you can hear sound. If I click on this one, it'll turn off the sound of everything else except whatever is clicked on. So this one I usually leave off, but see how that's kind of annoying? So you want to click this and then sound is completely off. Boom. Oh my God. Sometimes it can get so annoying if you have it on and like the song is just playing and you can hear everything. So again, click this if you want to hear the sound. If you want to see the video change, notice how like I'm dragging my mouse left and right, but this video is no longer changing. It's not changing anymore. But if I click this, see how it changes? And when I move the mouse out, it leaves it to wherever the I guess this placeholder is at, this line, so I can move it, you know? and it'll show me what I want to see. But right now it still moves because I have this clicked on. Trust me, once you learn these tools and you understand where everything's at, it just makes your life so much easier. So I'm just trying to explain to you guys what's on Final Cut Pro. We still haven't even started making a video, so we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here to the top. You know how I started off with the top? Open that up. These are our, oh, I didn't even get a chance to explain this. This shows you all your files in terms of what you've been editing. This is all your music and photos on the computer. And then these are all your texts. So texts, all these are basically these right here. See these? That's a lower third. It's a regular, that's another lower third. This is just something else. This one right here is all this. So all your text stuff is right here. So you have to have this one on if you want to see your text. But right now we're not looking at text. We're going to look at this part first. So these are libraries. It goes libraries, events, projects. And if you can't remember the order, just click on file, new, and it goes libraries. Libraries is where you hold all your data. An event are think of them kind of like folders. So it's like, oh, this is the video for this event. So I make an event a video. A project is the actual video. Now you might say, Mr. Martinez or Bobby or Mr. Martinez, right? Like what's the difference? So let me show you. So this is a project. Okay, that's the actual video I made. This is my event, and then this is my library. Now it looks confusing, but it's really not that confusing. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna open up a new library. I'm gonna create a new library, and you have to make sure you tell it where it's being stored. In your guys' case, you're most likely gonna store it on your computer or a travel drive or a flash drive. For my students, I'm just gonna call it practice class. Okay, I'm gonna hit save. It automatically creates it's this one. That's practice class. It automatically creates an event. But if you notice, there's nothing here. It says import media. Now what I start to do before I even import media is I create a project. So file, new project, and I'm gonna call it practice 1. Okay, so there's my project. Let's scoot this over to the side. It's getting a little annoying because there you go. Okay. Now, why would there be multiple projects within an event? So I already told you guys, an event is kind of like the video. But let's just say you're shooting a video for school, but you want a video for Instagram, and then you also want one for YouTube. So you would make several projects inside the same event. That's usually the way I do it. So sometimes I have different versions of the same video, and so they're just different projects. Because when you create the project, I don't know if you notice, watch, file, new project. I didn't explain everything on here the first time I made it. This one I'm gonna call it practice 2. It's telling me where it's at. It's in this event. It automatically makes you an event the day of. So this is August 20th. But here's the stuff. Like I can decide, hey, I'm gonna make my video a vertical video. And then I can change the frame rate to, I'm just gonna leave it for 30. I can change the stereo. I can change, like this is where you change specifics on the video. If you mess up, don't worry, you can always change it up later. But see how I have one that's long ways? This long ways, and then, oh, excuse me, this one. Double click it, and then a vertical video. So it's 2 different videos within the same event, all in one library where you hold all this stuff. So a little confusing, but eventually you'll get the gist of it. It's not that hard. But let's work with this one, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. I don't need the vertical one. We're just gonna work with this one. So how do you import stuff? There's a ton of different ways to import it. We just kind of learned one new one. Like if you click this one right here, it says import media. You can also click here. I literally just drag everything from my folder onto the project and I just drop it in. And as I drop it in, it has all the stuff. That's the easiest way for me. I've been making videos for about, dang, honestly, like right now, I think it's been like almost 7 years. So it's just the easiest way that I do it. I also teach you guys to make a folder first. So you grab all the stuff you're gonna use for a video. Some people get it super complicated. They put the audios, photos, videos, and they have it all separated. That's if you're doing like a massive project, like literally like a really, really big project. You're gonna want all the audios and everything separated. But for the most part, I usually just start like this. So I got a file called Hueneme Beach. I'm gonna open it. And let's just say I'm gonna click on these 4 and then I'm just gonna drop them over here and that's it. Okay, so let's just say I was just using these 4 videos. So right now you can't really see much. Let's make this a little bit bigger, okay, so that we only focus on what we're working on. So right now, first things first, see, you know how I told you I didn't really know what these 2 are, but I know what this is. As this is filling up, that's when it tells you that the project is ready for you to edit. You can also see it by these little dots. See how there's no dots here? No dots? And see how these are dots? The little dots are telling you like the program is still working on the actual files so that you can play with the files. I don't think I need this anymore, but here are the 4 videos I added. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes you can select exactly what you want to drop on there, but I just drop everything on there and then I edit everything on the bottom. So I don't want to see this anymore. Once you drop your stuff, I basically just close it. Remember, you click over here. You're only gonna really open it is if you want to add a title, but we'll add a title in just a little bit. So let's close that. Now I also don't need any of this right now, so I'm gonna close that. And so I have all my videos, okay? Now this video is super long. This video says it's, I think this is 3 minutes, 9 seconds, 18 frames. And this is an 8-minute video. It's a really long video. I was flying the drone. I don't know if you can tell, but I was flying the drone, and so I was flying it for a while. I need to make this smaller. One way for you to make it smaller is by clicking on this and then just zooming out. Okay, I usually say make it to the size that you want, like to work with, where you can see everything. So let's close that. Or you can also use the plus and minus on the keyboard, command plus, command minus. And then some of the newer models, you can just use the mouse and you can just like, you know, like on your phone, how you zoom in and zoom out, it'll zoom in and zoom out. So we can do that too. So anyways, usually what I do, once I add all my video on there, I start chopping it up. Basically, what do I really want to use? So for your first video, I'm going to make it so that every single one of your clips is exactly, I think, 6 seconds. This is not 6 seconds. This is 3 minutes and 9 seconds. So let's just say I want to find a solid 6 seconds or 10 seconds, whatever it is that you want. So click here and you're going to drag it. And as you drag, you get to see a lot. This is 3 minutes. I can see what 3 minutes was. Like 3 minutes, that's 1 minute is right here. 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I think I like this little clip right here where this wave is going. Boom. So I'm gonna now click here and I'm gonna drag it till there. And notice I just like basically deleted a big part of the video, but I'm trying to make it smaller. So let's make it even smaller, and I'm gonna make it literally 10 seconds. 10 seconds. I'm gonna try to get close to 10. This is 10 seconds and 7 frames. That's close enough. We can fix it later. Now this one, let's see, what do I like from here? I don't know if I like much, but I think maybe this right here, this little wave. Again, I'm not trying to take too much time making this video. I'm just trying to show you guys how to use the program. So I'm gonna do 10 seconds. There you go, 10 seconds. So this is 10 seconds. Next one. Oh, I like how the card just showed. So maybe right there. Right there. So I'm gonna close this. And I'm only gonna use, again, 10 seconds. I'm gonna try to get it close to 10. That's 9 seconds and 29 frames, okay? That's close enough for now. Once we zoom in, you can edit it more, but let's find one more. Maybe going through, maybe just right there. It's kind of hard to tell what I want. Maybe that. Again, and I didn't pick these clips before. I'm just editing as I go. So now notice how I don't need all this space anymore. So once you condense it, then this is when you would zoom in one more time. So let's zoom in. Oh, excuse me, I clicked the wrong one. There you go. Click this one, the film. We're gonna do like maybe that much. Okay, this is good to work with. Okay. Now that you zoomed in, now we can make it exactly 10. It's easier. 10, boom. This one was 10. This one's 9.29. So let's make it a little bit 10. And then this one's 9. I need one more frame. So this is 10, 10, 10, 10. So this is a 40-second video. Notice how it says 40 seconds right there. Super easy for you guys to understand, hopefully. So what do we do next now that we chopped it up? One of the things that you can do is you can add audio, like more music. You do it the same way. You guys can either get your music from YouTube, or anything else, like if you have the actual music with you. But you guys are most likely going to be downloading it from Storyblocks. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that later. Because you need to download videos and audio from Storyblocks. Or any other website that has like a ton of music and sounds. I have subscriptions to like Artlist. What's the other one? Something Jungle, Audio Jungle. There's a bunch of different ones. So you get a bunch of stock footage. Because when you use songs from like YouTube, like basically if you try to monetize it, you're not gonna make any money. Like whoever owns the song, that's who's gonna make the money. So you don't actually make like the money, which kind of sucks. But anyways, here are the 4 clips. What do I do next? How about we add some titles? Okay, now I can't see titles. Titles are usually over here, so I gotta turn this back on. And here I have a bunch of titles. Let's try something. Let's see. Premium. Let's just use a basic one. So let's use one of these. Basic 3D. Okay. So I'm gonna add this here, and then it tells you how long it is. This is 3 seconds and 21 frames, but you can make it longer, and so I'm gonna make it 5 seconds. And then if you click on it, you can then edit the text. Okay. Title. Now let's make everything capital. Title for video. Okay. So you can view it, but notice how there's there's all these little dots. That means it's still like rendering. It's like still trying to figure make sense of what you just added. And notice how like this is telling you how much is left. So boom, it's ready. So if I click play, and I click play just by clicking the space bar, so if I click the space bar, it's gonna stop it. Super easy way to just press play and stop. Or I can just drag this so it gives you an idea what, like, boom, title for video. So that's pretty cool. Now let's just say I wanted to edit more stuff like on the actual title. Click on the title, click on this button, and then all the stuff that you need to edit this is gonna show up. But let's close this stuff right here on the left hand side. Let's get rid of that. We don't need, since we already have the title. There's more stuff on here. So this is like the info. This is the colors. All right, if I want to change the colors of it, see that? Changing colors. You can do that. That's one way of changing the colors. This is to change like the effects and effects and stuff on the actual on this title, but usually what you're gonna do is you're gonna click on the little lines. The little lines, like I can fix this. So this is Miami Beach. Okay, you can change it. You can change the size. Basically, I'm gonna let you guys play around with this. You guys can change the font too. Okay, you can change. Right now, it's got 3D text on. So if I turn it off, it's no longer 3D. You can change the color of the face. There's a bunch of stuff you can change. I don't think I'm gonna go into depth right now on that. I just want to show you you can add a title by clicking this, and then you drag the titles. Literally just drag them. You can change the length of them. But if you want to edit them, make sure they're clicked, and make sure this one's on, and you go to the little lines. This one right here, whatever that one's called, show the text inspector. So it's the text inspector. So under text inspector, you change the text. But if you don't want to, if you're good with that, then just turn it off, and now you have more space, and then it's easier for you to think. The next thing you would do is add transitions. So a transition is placed between two videos. So I gotta click this. I'm gonna add cross dissolve. It's probably my favorite one. And so then this is gonna, well, notice how there's like the little dots. That means it's thinking, but basically it fades it in. Watch, it's gonna fade it in. Okay, but there's a ton of different transitions. You don't have to just use those. There's, or the one that I picked. So I like fade. You can even change like the length of the fade. It could be smaller or more. The more bigger you make it, the slower it fades in, so it's up to you. You'll find what you want. Now you can also add effects. Like, look, we can make it a black and white. So this makes it into a black and white video. It's kind of hard to see right now. I guess it's like too black and white-ish for me. But if you wanted to change that in terms of the effects, we got to open up that little button one more time. I think that's called the inspector. So see, this is how much. So if I want it to be less, if I want it to be more, that's like super black and white. So it just kind of gives you an idea. You can fix the effects, okay? And you can also turn them off just from right here. Even though we added it on the video, you can turn them on and off. And you can add multiple effects. But let me close this. I think that's pretty much it. So look, we learned how to add videos. We learned how to add titles. We learned how to add transitions, effects, and we know how to resize. We can change the speed. And notice I didn't use any tool except the select tool. We didn't even use the blade. I'm gonna teach you guys how to use blade. Like, let's just say you wanted to cut this up. You just decide where you want to cut it. And the best trick for me, I don't even take out the blade tool. What I do is I just click Command B, and it makes an actual cut right there. It does like a little karate chop. Wha-bam, wha-bam. And so then I can move this around. I can make it smaller or whatever, but I press Command Z to undo all that stuff. If you don't know your shortcuts, if I was you, I would just go in and open it up. I think we're gonna talk more about shortcuts later, maybe not right now. This is already like a really long video. But shortcuts makes your life so much easier. Like, I already have them memorized. I don't even know if I know them. I just know how to click on there. Kind of like playing the piano. Like, sometimes you don't even know what the middle C is or whatever. You just know where they're at, and you know what they are. The last thing you would need to do is, okay, I got the video, I'm done. What do I do? Go here to the top, file, and you go to share, and then you decide what you want to share it to. Most likely you're gonna click Apple device 4K if your video is in 4K. But remember, this video was in 1080p, so then you just go 1080p, click on it. And so right now, I guess it's not. I still need to wait till this is done. So, either way, that's how you would do it. We'll get to, once we make the actual videos, we'll figure that out then. But this is like a really quick tutorial on how to edit videos. Watch it a couple times if you need it. It's a solid video for you guys to learn how to edit videos on Final Cut Pro. So it's like really good. Okay, so anyways, I'll see you guys in class. You guys be safe. Send me a message if you have any questions, but hopefully this was very helpful. Okay, see you guys later. Peace.